I got it. Awesome. Hi, everyone. This is Emily Burcham.
Hi.
We're gonna talk with her about her adventure with Norwex, and y'all, it has been an adventure.
For sure.
So, okay, Emily, just give us a synopsis. So you've had 30 days. You've been in for
Yes.
30 days.
I joined March 27th. That was my official login sign up day. And had my first party on April the 6th, which was my launch party. And so I have been fully a part of the Norwex family for 31, 32 days. Yes. So it's been a wild ride.
Mm-hmm. A
So
very wild ride.
far, yes.
Tell us
I've
what
had
what are your sales? Tell us your sales.
um so today when I woke up, my group A sales since I started were $9,843.81.
Ah,
It's crazy.
that's
It is
amazing.
nuts is an understatement.
That is amazing. So,
Yes.
I mean,
It's crazy.
even if we're just doing math, I mean, think about that's $3,500 if you do 35%. Now, obviously, you've got some expenses, so that's not including your expenses, but just
Sure.
doing straight math, that's wow,
Significant.
significant for your family. Yeah.
Yes. Because before I was not working at all.
Yeah.
So we went from this single income budget to this, hello, welcome to Norwex.
And you can work from home and you can
Yes.
nurse your baby while
It's
you.
awesome. Yeah. Nursing a 3-month-old, taking care of a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
It's
which is
just crazy.
that's work full time itself. Okay,
Yes.
which let's talk. We'll go back and we'll talk about parties here in a second because you have some really good tips.
Yes.
You're sleepy. You need to rest. You need to lay on the couch. No, sir. You can have that later. Okay, sorry. So talk about your budget because this was amazing for me before
Yes.
Norwex and what happened with your budget.
Okay. So pre-Norwex, I was a certified medical assistant. I worked for our local hospital system, and my son got really, really sick, my oldest son, Hudson, and I had no other choice. His pediatrician and his surgeon both recommended we pull him out of public child care. So we went from 2 incomes to 1. And we really did not know how we were going to do it until I started really looking at our grocery budget, and I started to see the differences in all that I was spending on different products for my home. I would like to say ironically, but it's not. Divine intervention intervened, and I went to a Norwex party just a couple weeks later, and I sat through a demonstration with my friend Hannah and some other people at her party, and the consultant, I can say her name, right? Hello. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say her name.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah. Hello Smith was our consultant, and she was awesome. And she did the raw chicken demo, and I was sold. So Hudson ended up having to have surgery. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But I went to his follow-up appointment, and the physician's assistant looked at me and she said, so he's had major surgery, he's doing really well, but his breathing's not improving. What are you using in your home? And so I immediately got real defensive because I'm like, lady, my house is clean. Okay. I use this and this and this. And by the end of our conversation, I had listed 58 chemicals and toxins that were in my home. And she told me that that was the problem. And so I came home and I cried my eyes out. And even at that point, after watching the raw chicken demo in person, I still could not wrap my mind around getting rid of the things that I had always known and trusted.
Yep.
Until I sat down and looked at our budget. And I decided that day when I went to that party, that was it. I was not going to look back. And so my grocery budget every month was a solid $750. Solid. I could not get it under that. I could not understand when we went to 1 income how in the world we were affording a $750 grocery bill, because I didn't make that much money to begin with, and we were paying for childcare. So I looked at the Safe Haven 5 package, and that's what I started with. I hosted a party, and the rest is history. I earned some amazing free product, started to get rid of things in my home that I knew were hurting Hudson, based off of what his surgeon and his physician's assistant had told me. that were harmful to his specific breathing condition. And immediately, not only did Hudson improve when I began to eliminate those products from my home, but our grocery budget went down from $750 to $300 a month.
Now,
I was buying like 2 tubs of 96 load laundry detergent a month.
Yeah.
And our Ultra Power Plus laundry detergent can last 6 months, one bag.
One bag.
For $25.
For $25.
It's just crazy.
It is crazy. And that to me, just when you told me that for the first time, I just went, wow. Like, I probably didn't even realize how much money, wipes, paper towels, right? All of
the
that
things
you pour in, like, you know, you pour.
And I was like a laundry sheet in the air vent girl.
Yes.
I was like pouring the scented beads into a wax burner to smell. I was bad. Okay. So I was buying plug-ins and different things for my home, candles, all the things. Terrible. It was so bad for him.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about that improvement. So it sounded like you really had scented things, like plug-ins in the wall, like all this, you know, laundry with all the fragrance. Like you really had your home, like kind of the American dream of like. I did. Smell it when you walk in, and it's like.
Yes. Wow, so I was known, and I still am, by my friends as the clean freak. They would come in my house and make the comment, I don't know how you do it, but your house is clean every time I come over here. And I'm like, that's because I just cleaned up before y'all came over here, but it's fine. But in all actuality, I had a problem. I had a cleaning chemical problem. I was the person that had, I'm talking packs of plug-ins in my laundry room. Inside of my pantry, I had baskets full of things because I could never run out. If I were to run out, I would tell Derek, my husband, you got to make an order on Amazon today. You got to go to Walmart today. I got to stop by Food Line on my way home. You know, I've got to have these items. And it was like almost like an addiction. I mean, it was terrible, but that's what I thought clean was. And I didn't know that clean wasn't supposed to have a smell. And when I began to look at the ingredients and some of the things that I was using, and the physician's assistant at Hudson's follow-up appointment told me to read the backs of labels, I cried for like 3 days. You know, your job, I'm going to get emotional. I do this like every time. Your job is to protect your family.
Right.
And these kids that I have, Holden especially was such a sweet surprise from the Lord. And my job is to protect them. And what I was doing and using in my home wasn't protecting him. It was hurting him. And when I found that out, I knew I had no other option but to make that change immediately.
Amazing.
So
and I can relate. I mean, Emily, I used those sanitizing wipes on every toy.
3 tubs a week.
Yep.
And I mean, I had the yellow, green, yellow pack, and I would go yellow, green, yellow, and I'd get the next one out of the pantry.
And I remember you saying, just like laundry baskets full of chemicals.
Yes. So that's something that I really talk about with some of my hosts right now, because a lot of my hosts are starting with Norwex and they know me personally and they know what I used to use. They're like, Emily, what has happened to you? And like, you know, I remember, I know your house. I've been to your house, like we know each other. Yeah. And so I have laundry basket pictures. I took pictures the day that I made the change, and people are like, so you just threw out your laundry detergent? Yes. I did not wash clothes until my new laundry detergent came in. We had a pile high to the ceiling, but it was not going to happen because I knew for myself personally, if I did not make the change immediately, it was never going to happen.
I love it.
That's the type of person that I am.
And why
I had to go all in. Ironically, that's happened with my experience with Norwex too. And I didn't expect that either, but it's just been blessing after blessing after blessing, because this product has not only changed my budget. I mean, in 10 years, I tallied up my receipts. I don't know if you remember when you and I talked about this, but
I'm so glad you brought
it. I tallied up my receipts for what I spent, and I literally sat down for 4.5 hours one day, and I calculated what all I would buy in 1 month, and I multiplied it over the years that I bought it. In 10 years, I spent $46,000 on detergents, candles, odor eliminators, sprays, cleaners, wipes, everything you can think of. My biggest spenders were the wipes and my dryer sheets.
Yes.
The two worst things that I could have been spending money on, I spent the most money on. I could not be without them.
Wow.
Yes.
And one thing you talked about too, it was like, just like $46,000. Think about what you could do with that. That's a car.
I could have paid a cash for maybe 2 of my Honda Pilots in the driveway. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yep.
Would have been great to pay off a school loan, an entire school loan that my husband and I both still have. Put some money away from our kids that we didn't know we were going to have for college. You know, I was told when Derek and I first got married, I had some issues, and we were told you may never be able to have children.
Wow.
And so when we lost our first baby and we got pregnant with Hudson, we were like, whatever we have to do to keep this baby safe, we're going to do it. And so when I found out I wasn't keeping this baby safe and I had blown all that money, I was like, okay, my heart stopped for a little bit. And then, so I want to talk about Hudson, if that's okay, for a minute. Because
let's get back to that. And then let's talk about your parties.
Okay, sounds good. So Hudson got really, really sick. He was 10 months old, February of 2019. So rewind just a bit. He was on his 11th ear infection. And he had just been a really sick kid. He had been diagnosed with some pediatric issues, severe respiratory issues. He had been in distress, and his oxygen level stayed between 87 and 90%. So we had to constantly, I was taking him to the doctor every other day for pulse oximeter readings. I was having to monitor his breathing at night. We were doing breathing treatments 6, 7, 8 times a day, much more than the recommended dose. But we didn't have an option. We had to do it. And he then had some surgery to correct some of his ear issues, got better with his ears, but his breathing didn't get any better until that appointment. And until I found out what I was using in my home, we made the change. And for Hudson's personal experience, removing those chemicals and toxins from our home was the answer.
Wow.
He does not use breathing treatments. He is not on allergy medication anymore. He does not take any of his medications that he was having to take while I used the things that I used in my home and during that healing period. So I quit my job in February. And then he turned a year old in April, was still having some issues. We switched to Norwex in June, began to miraculously become this little boy that we had always hoped he'd be. He got to go outside and play. He got to do things that we didn't think he was going to get to do, because we couldn't even take him outside if a neighbor had a bonfire.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't even be outside the house. Yeah, for his breathing. So then late June, I found out I was pregnant with Holden. Very unexpected. But the wonderful thing I went into with this pregnancy was knowing that the probably 200 plus chemicals that were in Hudson's cord blood were not going to be in Holden's this time. And it was a different pregnancy for me. It was hard. I had a lot of issues. No more babies coming from the Burcham house. Our 2 boys are it. Yes. But his pregnancy was different because my mindset was different. And I knew that I had done everything I could possibly do to help him and to protect him and care for him, and the rest was in the Lord's hands. And it's been a wonderful experience since he came, even in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. I have never been more grateful for the products that I have in my house than I am right now, having up until last week 2 under 2 in a very short period of time. So my body went through a lot of changes. I suffered from a skin condition, and since I got rid of my soap and lotion. I don't have it anymore. I just use my body cloth, and it's awesome. Our whole life is different. I can barely talk about it without getting emotional, because then I jumped into Norwex, and on March 27th, my life changed all over again.
And so back up. This story is your story. So for anyone watching, again, we're not making a claim. We're not saying, nope, you're not saying that at all. I'm not saying that. Like, if you do this is going to happen for your kid. We're not saying that at all. We're just explaining what happened in your experience with your very important things that happened and changed in your family. It's just amazing. Awesome. And also just this concept of you at the beginning when you made the switch to Norwex, sharing the product wasn't something that I was even probably maybe on your radar. So I think I had to ask you 4 times. Right?
It was at least 4. Even the week I was in the hospital having Holden, you checked on me.
I did. I was like,
I'm gonna get emotional again. You took our relationship from a consultant customer relationship to a personal relationship, and you made me feel like a person.
yeah.
And that is when I knew, when you text me in the hospital,
Yeah.
I'm going to sell this stuff.
That's amazing.
And then you checked with me when we got home, made sure we were good, made sure we didn't need anything. I rescheduled my party because I had scheduled in my friend Stacy's party and had my party, and it was awesome. And it wasn't until the end of the party when you texted me again and you said, "Are you sure you don't want to do this?" And I said, "Actually, yeah." And I launched the next day.
And I think that's like just authentically from me. Like I just saw something something amazing. And this sometimes happens, but it doesn't always happen. And there's just these times where it's just like this, you were, yep, you were just amazing. And what was happening was people were changing. And when I see that start to happen, when friends start to say, oh yeah, like that's when you go, okay, we need to talk about this.
Yeah. It was crazy. I
love
just
that.
in the party that you consulted for me, that I hosted before I launched. I had so many people messaging me after they got their products, and you had checked in with them up to like a month after, and they were like, "My life is changing. Like everything is just changing. It's great." And I tell Stacy all the time, who is another one of our team members.
Yep.
I tell her all the time, I don't know what I would have done without that party, meeting you at her house that afternoon. I was so pregnant and I was so tired, but I wanted to come because I love Norwex and I needed some products, and
you were selling it there.
yeah, it was awesome. And you know, we talk all the time, my husband and I do, about how things can change so quickly, and then this happens, and it's such a miraculous, crazy change that I went from just loving this product to becoming a consultant, and in a little over 30 days selling almost $10,000 in group A sales. It's unreal. It's crazy. And it's awesome.
You got to talk about your parties, because
Oh yeah.
So talk about your parties, how many you're doing, how many you have, and then talk about your $1,000 incentive and what you saw with your.
Okay, yes, that's a good one. So far I have held 10 parties, including my personal launch party. So that was May 6th. So from May 6th to today, I've held 10. I still have 3 open for the rest of the month, and then I have 12 additional scheduled for May. So I've had total about 25 parties. And it has been a whirlwind, absolutely whirlwind. But my hosts have all just been so excited to find out about this product, and it's contagious for me because I love it that much. Their excitement sells me all over again on the stuff that I love and I now sell. And one of the things I say in my live feeds when I go live is, this product sells itself. It just needs somebody to talk for it.
Yes. So good.
I don't have to do anything but show you what it does, and then you just buy it because it works. And, you know, at Norwex, the goal is to radically reduce those chemicals. And that's what we're doing. And these hosts that I have been wonderful. So I messaged you about how I could do $1,000 host reward, and you had done laundry detergent. And I was like, you know, I want to do that. So for the whole month of April, any of my $1,000 parties, I have offered free laundry detergent for a year. And I was like, oh my word, how am I going to do this?
It's only 2 bags. 2 bags.
It was 2 bags of Ultra Power Plus laundry detergent. I mean, $24.99 twice is $50. Who has ever paid $50 for a year's supply of laundry detergent? Not me.
Not me.
Not me. Because I was spending way more than that in about 2 months.
Yeah, totally.
So it's been crazy. So some ideas, I want to try to switch it up for May. And I'm going to try to feed into my hosts as I get to know them through the 14-day text outs that you recommend doing through host coaching and things like that. What I'm going to try to do is see what they're really excited about in the host packet, and find out in the host rewards what they're most excited about receiving and earning, and then try to feed off of that and offer them something, whether it's strictly microfiber or it's related to a system that they're purchasing or that they love already that they have or that they're working towards, or if it's just the laundry detergent again. I really want to service the hosts because yes, we're the consultants and we are working hard, but they're working hard too. And they're in a different boat than I am now. And just 30 days ago, I was in their boat, having a party, trying to earn as much free product as I could for my home because I couldn't afford to buy all of it. And that's drastically changed now. And I feel like the Lord has immensely blessed me to be able to help them and get them to that point. And that's so encouraging for me to see them so excited about something. If I'm up until 2:00 in the morning scheduling posting just to get extra feedback, that's what we're going to have to do because I want them to maximize their host rewards. Who doesn't want free stuff?
Yeah. Now, was it your cousin that you went from 267 to 1,000?
No, my best friend.
Your best friend.
My
Okay.
childhood best friend. So my best friend Casey and I met in the 2nd grade, and we were two peas in a pod forever. And yeah, so we were looking at her party, and I was like, Casey, we are so low in sales. Like I don't know what we're gonna do. And she just had this encouragement, this light. She was like, absolutely not. We're gonna get $1,000. And I was like, wait a minute, who's the consultant?
Who's on there? But you said
who's encouraging who?
She started
posting. She started messaging people. She started texting people. She was sharing her link with her coworkers and doing everything she could think of to share Norwex, because the post that she posted in her group, which I'll screenshot and send to you, is, yes, I've earned some host rewards, but let's go even further for Emily.
That's
like, what?
That's awesome.
So it's like I was doing it for her and she was doing it for me. And it just doesn't get any sweeter. It's so powerful and so wonderful. And so we went from a little over $270 in sales to $1,400, maximized her host rewards, closed her out, and she got free laundry detergent for a year from me.
Amazing.
She was so excited in her group. She went through the catalog and circled everything.
Yeah.
Took a picture as she circled it and posted like 15 pictures of catalog items that she had earned for free. Because she's that excited.
That's awesome.
And even after we were done, she said, so you just archived my group? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of sad that it's going away. And so we kind of talked about it a little bit. And so I'm trying to work with her right now.
I love that.
Some things going. But yeah, so that was an awesome experience for me. And then a party that I have open today, we're seeing the same transition because I've got some other girls in this party that have already had parties and they've already spent money, they've already done things, but they want to see their friends succeed.
Yes.
And that gives me encouragement, and that lights a fire under me to do as much as I can for that host, because these girls who don't have to spend a penny are doing whatever they can to help their friend.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Because they want her to have the same rewards. And I just think it's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's awesome.
Now, just for you guys watching too, a lot of people are going to be saying, okay, what are you posting, Emily? What are you saying? What are you messaging out? And my just, from what I'm viewing of you, really what you're doing, Emily, is you're using the product yourself and you're just taking pictures as you do.
I am.
That's literally all what
demos from butter to stovetop to descaler to bathroom cleaner. Working on a mattress.
The mess, y'all. She's just documenting it. She's taking.
I am. Like I cooked breakfast one morning and made a glass stovetop demo, and that's been the people are messaging me asking me to see it again, and they're not even in a party.
It's amazing.
And it's just, that's all I'm doing. I walked around my house the other day because I thought, I can see it right now, which is why I'm looking. We became paper towel free 48 hours ago. no more paper towels at the Burcham house. We have
That's
no paper towels. We will not be buying paper towels. We used our very last roll. It's gone.
awesome.
And so I'm looking at that empty paper towel roll that is screwed into the side of my cabinet, and
Yep.
it gives me such joy because I'm like,
I
no,
don't know.
you can just sit there and you can just look pretty with your silver self with no paper towels on you because I'm not doing it anymore. So I got encouraged from that the other. It was like 2 a.m. when I was trying to finish up and do some other posting stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna walk around my house and I'm gonna take pictures. So I did. I took a picture of where I keep my window cloth, all the cloths that I had hanging in my kitchen, where my dishcloths are, where my scrub cloths are, what my laundry room looks like, what my
Love it.
bathrooms look like,
Yes.
my kids' bath towels, the bath sponges, the body pack, the kids' body pack, my Chanel hand towels, my bath mat that I earned.
Right.
All the things I
Yes.
just took pictures of because people were literally asking me, Emily, do you really use these products in your home? Because I'm so enthusiastic about it.
Yes.
They thought I was being paid
Yeah,
to
no.
sell this product. And I'm like,
No.
the answer is I use everything. All day, every day, that's all I use. So I posted like 27 pictures.
And
Yeah.
think about the impact of what you're doing is you're showing someone this is what what you're going for is chemical toxin free, waste free, like
Yes.
again that goal of being just
Leaving the consumables behind. That's the biggest thing for me. Opening up my drawer and showing you that we use fabric napkins. I do not have the Norwex ones, but I'm getting them.
Okay, good.
But I'm working towards that.
Counter cloths are good as cloth napkins too.
Yes. And I mean, we use cloth napkins. I do not buy paper towels anymore. I don't buy napkins. I don't buy paper plates. I don't buy bowls. I don't buy cups. I don't buy cutlery.
I love that. No plastic stuff. I love that.
Nothing. And that was one of the reasons when we were one income, I had to make that change because I was like, this is an unnecessary item that we're buying that we could be paying an entire child's salary for daycare.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just crazy when I started to look at those numbers in concordance with the other things that I was spending every month.
Totally.
So we made that change months ago, and I have not looked back, and I'm just thrilled. Now, my goal, I will be honest, my goal next is aluminum foil.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's my next goal because I love aluminum foil.
Yep. Yep, it's a hard
But it's one step at a time, and that's everybody's like, well, you've gone from 0 to 100 since March 27th. As a consultant, yes, I'm going 100 miles an hour. As a customer, no. It's taken me almost a year to build up what I have and to retrain myself that it's okay to be using a cloth that's wet with water. I got nervous last night during my demo, and I had like 11 or 12 people watching it. They all laughed at me. They were shooting up the ha-ha faces, the emojis, because I wrote on my floor with permanent marker. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't come up? Even though I've done it 100 times, I still got nervous.
What a good idea. I need to do that.
And I looked back up at the camera and I was like, I'm sure y'all can see how red I am right now. I was just so nervous. Even though I've done this 100 times, what if it didn't come up this time? What would I do? But it comes up every time because it always works.
So, okay, Emily, you're writing on your hardwood floor with a permanent marker.
Yes, ma'am. I moved my little tripod that my husband gave me to go live in videos in my actual groups.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 32 days in, so that's all I've got is a tripod.
You're doing great.
I moved to the floor and I adjust the camera and I grab my big fat permanent marker. Can't say the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
I write all over my floor. And like last night, I think Derek grabbed me. The kids were already in bed, so he was in here with me. He grabbed me an Enviro sponge from the sink that I had just used on my glass stovetop earlier and dampened it with water for me. And I dipped it in my cleaning paste and scrubbed it right up and then used the sponge side, not the scrubby side, to wipe it up. I didn't even have to use my Enviro cloth to finish it off like I normally do. It was just like amazing. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's cleaning paste. I need that. Yeah, you do. if you've got a Hudson and a Holden in your house, you need cleaning paste.
Yes, you do.
Let me be, yes, because we've got white cabinets, and as soon as he gets a hold of that marker that I keep forgetting to put in a drawer, we're going to be in trouble.
In trouble.
Only until I get it off with cleaning paste, though.
Love it.
Yes.
So good. Okay. Any last words? Anything you want to say? That was awesome.
I'm going to get emotional. Anybody who thinks that you can't do this, or you're struggling, or it's too much, or you're trying to balance life, take a breath.
Yep.
Take a step back. Just like when we were all trying to order masks the other day.
Yep. Quite the experience.
Think about the mask issue. Take a step back and look at the situation that you're in, and just appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
And remember where you started and how far you've come, and tomorrow's going to be different.
Yeah.
And every day is hard, every day is different, but just keep doing what you're doing because it works, and you are selling a product that not only works, but a product that you believe in, and that makes all the difference.
I love it. Emily, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thankful that you shared with us. Y'all,
Yeah.
I'm going to just eat her up. So wonderful. So grateful. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Y'all, let us know what you thought, okay? We want to hear from you.
Please.